recording has commenced. Aye, 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 aye. We
This
are
is-
recording the podcast. Rangers. And by
Please.
Rangers, I mean, oh no, sorry. I don't know. I'm just, I'm trying to get the vibes. You, look at me, dude. I'm trying to get the vibes.
You legit look like a background actor in the youth center if we were watching an episode in the 90s. Like you were in the back drinking a shake when the putties attacked.
Oh man. So listen, I already want to go down a tangent about the putties, but we'll get into that in a minute. But we are back. The Movie Propcast. Tyler, Justin. You want to see our outfits? You want to see our new setup? We're doing a little themed, little '90s theme action, but it's the Power Rangers, the Mighty freaking Morphin Power Rangers, which I'm pretty sure that's their legal name. But the movie we're doing just came out on Netflix here recently. Once and Always. And you and I are very obviously big fans of the Power Rangers. We grew up in that time. We were children. We loved every second of it. I think I'm not even gonna say I think. I'm 99% sure you are a much bigger fan than I am. I watched it for a considerable amount of time, but I did have a cutoff where and then now I look back and I'm like, what was going on? I didn't realize all this, but you, I think, are a much bigger fan than I am.
My cutoff, I mentioned before, my cutoff was like around Dino Thunder. So they brought Tommy back in Dino Thunder as like a regular character again, which was groundbreaking. And then, was that my cutoff? I might have watched here and there a little bit afterwards because now I'm remembering they also did like a few other things with Tommy like a few years later. But I have always, if I didn't watch it, I was reading up on it. So I would read up like wikis or spark notes on the seasons after they ended to see if it was worth my time, or I'll catch YouTube clips to catch up. So every time there was, at the end of like every other 2 seasons, they always have like old Rangers come back. I'll always watch those episodes, even if I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, that's something I'll find on YouTube all the time, or to be like,
Yeah.
You won't believe 98 Power Rangers joined forces, and it's like, okay, I see the OGs, I see the ones I remember. Then that's when I chime in, and I'm like, that's cool.
So you would like there's this season where they're like pirates, and you would actually like the whole season. Yeah, so there's a season where they're pirates. I forgot what it's called. There was like one version, then I'm gonna get roasted by real fans, but there's a season where they're pirates and they use these little toys and they put the toys in the cell phone, and then they morph with the toys but turn into a previous version of a ranger. But they don't leave it color specific. So like in one episode, there would be like Red Ranger from Space, Red Ranger from Zeo, Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin, Red Ranger from Lightspeed, one Red Ranger for Time Force. Like they would just take whatever toy they wanted, put it in their cell phone, morph, and they would turn into that Legacy Ranger. And that was like their shtick throughout the season, and that almost brought me back. I almost went back to that season. I was not even
pretty
gonna
crazy,
lie.
like because you never know what could happen. Something could just pop up out of nowhere. That's pretty cool. It's also very strange, like the gimmicks that they kept trying to pull off to make it interesting. They're like, look, technology and toy. Like I don't know. It's the marketing team was working hard on that one, I think. But but no, this one obviously was a passion project of it was Zack Taylor, which was Walter Jones, right? Wasn't his name Walter?
Yep, Walter Jones. Real life Walter Jones, yeah.
Walter Jones, but he's Zack Taylor in the Black Ranger. And
David
Billy
Yost.
Cranston is David Yost. David Yost, I think, was the one that's going around. He was doing the marketing and the media for this, and he, I don't know if he co-wrote it or he wrote it. I don't know 100% on that. He had a big part. He had a big say in writing it. If he didn't have all of it, I'm sorry, David. If you're watching this, I guess I could have looked that up, but which I have right here. It's Becca Barnes, Alwyn Dale, and it doesn't even say he was a writer.
Which is weird because I remember years ago him pretty much saying like, I have a project in the works.
Yeah.
Like I'm cooking right now.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, what? Because at the same time, Jason David Frank, rest in peace, was cooking up his own thing, which was Legend of the White Dragon. And people were like, oh, so he's not going to be in this thing, which, well, we'll get to that. But
yeah. So he was the driving force, I'll say, behind it. But I guess apparently not. I find it hard to believe he wouldn't have any say in the writing. So he was one of the people in the creative process, probably the one leading the force. Anyway, it's very, very dominantly him. It's Billy and Zack in this movie, and that's really what you get a lot of. And if you're coming back and you're looking for, obviously the Green Ranger, you're not going to get, you do get glimpses of the Green and the Yellow Ranger. And again, if you're listening to this, you're going to get some spoilers. It's going to happen. I don't know why I'm alerting you now. You clicked the podcast. You knew what you were getting into. But Yellow Ranger, Trini dies in this movie, but in real life, her actress had also passed away. So they kind of wrote that in. And I don't know what the timeline was for when they started recording this movie, because obviously what happened with Jason, it was Jason David Frank, is that his name?
Yeah.
I don't know why I just forgot that for a second. But what happened with him obviously was tragic, and I'm unexpected. So, but he also wasn't signed on to be part of this project along with the Pink Ranger. I think her name's Amy Jo Johnson.
She must have been at least your first or second crush, and you don't remember
She was, but she was just Pink Ranger to me, dude. She was.
Oh, you're wild. I've got stories that's for the
Please
preamble.
go on.
I've got stories. That was my first obsession, not even crush. Like it was bad. That was a time before IMDb, but I found a way to find out things.
Okay. All right.
It was dude, young love. But
I got you. I know exactly what you're thinking though, because that was also, I was like, yo, that's a cute girl. I don't want to put a booger on her back in the, I don't know whatever I was doing.
What?
I don't know. That's what you do when you like somebody when you're a kid, right? You just throw a booger at them. But I wanted to be respectful and be like, she was well out of my league. I was just a boy. Anyway, here we are. This is now uncomfortable.
So back to what you were saying. So before the untimely passing of Jason David Frank, him and Amy Jo Johnson had already stated they were done being Rangers. Them and Saban had at least Jason David Frank said him and Saban were split. He was done. He was making his own project with his daughter, Legend of the White Dragon. Power Rangers themed, Power Rangers adjacent, but his own world, his own universe, and all of that. Amy Jo she flat out said, I don't want to wear spandex anymore. So that was fair. What happened with her. I don't know what happened with the Red Ranger, Austin St. John. I know he still does appearances for Red Ranger stuff, but I don't know why he wasn't in this movie.
I always felt like the Red Ranger, that on the original show got recasted. Didn't that happened in the middle of the show? I feel like there were different Red Rangers in the original one.
There were. So like partway through season 1, they recast red, yellow, and black. And then they continued on. Then they did like a full recast after that. Red, pink, and black. Oh my God. Red, pink, and black. Then they did a full recast. But they recast everyone. They just cycled.
Well, yeah. Then it became a whole nother its own beast where, like you said, every season they're doing something different. I don't remember what the order of the process was, but like I said, when I was watching, it was this one. Obviously, I was a big fan. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the first one that came out was one of my favorites as a kid. That was one of the ones that that and like Good Burger were like on repeat on my VHS player. Like the VHS player. I don't even know how it survived. How many times I watched those movies, but I don't know what the next one was. I remember seeing like Neo or Time something. I don't know what the next one was.
Are you talking about movie or
no? I'm talking about Power Rangers show. When I tapped out, or when I can remember tapping out, and I feel like I remember there being. I don't know.
I can run through if you can tell me.
Yeah, go walk me down the line if you know the order.
So it was this Power Rangers, then it was Mighty Morphin, but they had like the ninja costumes and did like they had the Shogun Zord and stuff. You saw that. After that, they did Zeo, where I don't know how to say like the symbols on their face.
I remember that. Okay,
you saw that. Then they did Turbo, where they had cars.
They had cars. I remember that. Yes. Yeah.
So Turbo made me think I could be a Power Ranger because they got Justin. Justin.
Ooh.
They got he was like 11 years old, but he would morph, and then it would like morph him up 2 feet.
He had the Shazam powers where he would become an adult somehow by morphing.
So then after Turbo, they went to space. So it was Power Rangers in space after that. Did you see that?
Might have been where I think I remember vaguely that, but I don't think I was in on that. So I think that was when I pulled out.
If you want to see something that for what we were probably like 10, the end of the Turbo season was actually a little traumatizing because they like blow up the command center. Like they like it's bad. They actually make you think the Power Rangers are like done.
Ooh.
And yeah, it was pretty cool. And then they have to like go to space for a refuge, and it was pretty interesting.
Okay, so enough about different iterations. All right, we're back in their OG timeline. It's Mighty Morphin
Yes.
Power Rangers, the once and always. So in this movie, they just bang you right over the head right away. Rita is back, and she's a
Back.
bot. She's a
Yeah.
bot.
Yeah.
That's and a weird looking little thing. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how she. Well, I guess you do know how it happened at some point later in
Yeah.
the movie.
You
They
learn.
they explain what happened, but it was kind of jarring to immediately be in a fight, and I'm like, I did kind of feel like we were gonna get one of those like they were gonna have this
Recap.
fight, and then it was gonna be like 10 days prior, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we were gonna get the
Yeah.
flashback and then get the build up to this scene. And it wasn't. You were just like, you were in it. And then it was
Yeah.
1 year later. They threw me for a loop because it felt like the climax of a movie. And usually when they do that, they throw you back a few days to get to that point, but they didn't.
I want to give them, like, the team in general, like, props, because a lot of the writing around they did felt seamless. Like, they wrote around multiple deaths, because we already talked about Green Ranger, Yellow Ranger. Rita herself died. I think like she died a while back. So Rita had been in Power Rangers again a while back, but then she died. Otherwise, I'm sure she would have come back. Just so doing that, using like little voice clips like of Tommy fighting, because Tommy always was verbal when he fought, so you got to hear those in this movie. They use like recycled voice lines.
Yeah.
They just really did their best to make it, from the start, it felt like watching a Power Rangers episode just in HD, which was crazy. Like seeing
Yeah.
putties in HD I was like, this is ridiculous right now.
Speaking of putties, so you see them right away, and I'm like, my initial thought is, where's that little magic button on their chest to kill them? You know what I mean? Like that was always my weirdest thing. I was like, dude, when I was a kid, I could take these things no problem. You just slap them in the chest. It was the dumbest way to get rid of these things. They took that button off. So now I was like, all right, now they're like a mild inconvenience. Like they're actually going to be a problem.
Now you have to hit them kind of hard.
Now you got to like break them, which I couldn't decide if they turned into sludge or rock. Because in different instances, they turned into different type of substances.
Yeah.
But putty, I don't know. Putty can be anything, I guess. That's the whole shtick of their voice, or not their voice, but their gimmick. I don't know. It's really weird. That I've always found weird. Putties to be strange. But yeah, you're right back in it, and then right away, off rip, because you kind of have to. Trini dies. The Yellow Ranger is absolutely murdered in a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show / movie.
Never did I think they only showed death in Power Rangers, I think, one other time. I didn't think they were ever going to do that again. I thought they were just going to start off in the future. Trini's dead from some whatever accident. Showing her die on screen was a good touch. I was actually shocked.
So. Yeah, it also made Rita look pretty OP, but it also made me very confused on why she stopped. Bro, you just blasted one. You got them reeling. They're against the ropes. Yeah. You just keep blasting them. I'm not rooting for the bad guy. Obviously, I want the Power Rangers to win, but you finally got a dub. It only took you 15 million years, and you stop. You're like, all right, I'm out. I'm going to let you guys recover from that, and I'm out of here. I don't know. The tactics of the bad guys, that's not really why people watch Power Rangers, all right? You don't watch the Power Rangers for the ultimate bad guy tactics, because they're, at the end of the day, they're pretty bad at planning. I mean, some got some good plans, but for the most part, they're kind of dog water. But
well, like I said, watch the end of Turbo. But I was happy that it didn't feel it was weird for a second, being someone who watched all the Mighty Morphin, seeing Billy and Zack as the leaders, like the de facto leaders after that. But as it went, it didn't feel weird, because before they were characters who didn't have a lot of lines, and then they got more lines, especially Billy, who stayed on the seasons a lot longer. But they did a good job of, like, this felt like it was an achievable task, even though the quote unquote like second in command, or not even, like third and fourth in command, were now in command.
So. Yeah, that was weird. It is a weird dynamic, because you're always conditioned to, it's the Red Rangers show, you know. Yeah. It's always there, and then you do get the Red Ranger, you get the Pink Ranger. They're back, but they're like ripped. I don't understand. They're ripped from other timelines. Was it timelines, or was it just somewhere else in the world?
Somewhere else in the world. Those were Rangers who were Rangers with them in this timeline. My one gripe was the Pink Ranger that they got, Kat. She did take over Kimberly's spot, but then later became a different Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
but the Ranger that she became, when Rita has the toys up there, she has another toy from that season, which means that they fought another, it was like Zeo or something, another
Yeah.
Zeo Ranger. So why didn't Kat already have her Zeo pink powers if that Ranger had her Zeo yellow powers?
Because no
So I was,
powers are as good as the OG Mighty Morphin powers. All right. So if you can
yes.
slide, you know what I mean? It's like a tier system where it's like, yeah, you're D2, right? You know, but you could be D1, which is, I don't know. I'm thinking
That
that's yeah.
I
Okay.
wish we got more of that on screen though. Like I thought that once so they go back to the command center, not to jump ahead. Billy puts out a distress beacon and he's like literally he's like every ranger in the universe, in the galaxy. So they are ready. I started geeking out. They are ready to start putting out this signal, and there's like a little scroll wheel of all the locations where there's Power Rangers there. So there's like Terra Firma, there's the city from from Lightspeed. They just show all these names that only stupid geeks would know. So they show like 6 of those. So I'm like, yo, he's calling the entire galaxy. So we're about to get a party. But then they don't. We just get
Yeah.
Adam, or we get Rocky, and we get Cat back, which I was happy to see.
Yeah, it's cool.
Um,
Obviously,
yeah.
it did feel like it was shooting for a much grander scale, but they it was pretty low to
They
the
pulled it
ground.
back real quick.
Yeah, they're like,
They were
yeah.
like, we're doing too much. We're doing
They're
too
like the
much.
budget. I don't know. It's not in the cards, but we got what we got, and the little, like you said, the little teasers for nerds and dorks like you. No, I'm
Yes.
kidding. No. It's just everybody. And when you see it, yeah, it is cool. It's just a little like nod to the broad spectrum of Power Rangers that there
Yes.
are, without having to actually pay. And you know what I mean? I'm sure that didn't cost too much to just throw those little teasers in there. So
Yeah. Speaking of budget, I was very uncomfortable in this movie. So before, Alpha was, a little robot that walked around and did and went ay and was
yeah,
silly. Alpha in this movie, Alpha 9, was an atrocity because it was very clearly a person
yeah,
in a suit. And I was like, this is just weird. Like it wasn't that it wasn't convincing, it was just that Alpha before felt like a robot moving around, where now you could see Alpha's knees bending and like it's very clearly a person in like polyester pants.
yeah.
And I was like, nah, this isn't what it's supposed to be, man.
It was
No.
pretty weird. You're right. The arms specifically in a lot of scenes where it's moving and you can like see the creases and like
Yeah.
you can see that it's just a suit. It is what it is. It didn't take it away from me because
Oh,
you see Alpha and you're like, all right, that's cool. But yeah,
no, it felt like a person who is just, it felt like a guy in a suit who shouldn't be there. Like, why are you acting weird, man? Like it
I have a question for you, and this is if you, and I'm sure you probably already thought about this. Maybe not this exact question, but just what this life would be like if you were a Power Ranger. And I
yes.
guess this is a question of like rules on Power Rangers. I don't know if this is ever discussed in the lore or not, but if you're a
Mm.
Power Ranger, is it like you have no choice? You're contractually obligated to only wear that color for the rest of your life?
No, Tommy wore. Oh, you mean wardrobe?
Just regular outfit, just everyday person. Like, I don't know, you have this
Billy.
I don't know, you have this identity you're trying to protect. You're like, I'm a Power Ranger, it's a secret. But you're
So
wearing blue every day of your life.
like a crip. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
what is
Billy.
that?
So early on, they definitely did that a lot on the show, but in this movie specifically, I remember Billy having some fresh outfits. Billy was wearing like all white at one point, and I was like, "That's kind of clean." Like, I don't know why out of nowhere Billy had a sick outfit, but
That
I
might have
think he
happened
was
once and it might have happened quick,
once.
but I
Yeah,
would say for the most part, everybody was
no,
wearing their pink,
it
red,
was it was
black, and
it
blue.
was white jeans with a blue shirt. So you're right. So never mind.
Yeah.
So
It's like you
yeah,
have to. I don't know
but I
why.
mean, why not? If you get a good color, like I mean, all the colors for some reason look good. So as long as I'm not the pink ranger, I can wear pink, but only pink would throw me crazy. But like,
How would you approach the question if, hey, you guys, you know what's really weird? I just noticed this, and I'm just gonna ask you because you're all here at this diner, right? You're all hanging
yeah,
out. You guys are, does it seem weird? You guys are all wearing the Power Rangers colors. I'm not accusing you, okay? I'm not accusing you of it, but I'm going to tell you it's a little weird. That's all
yeah.
you guys wear all the time. I come here
It,
every Thursday to get my mashed potatoes and grits, and you're all wearing the same outfit every time. Tell me why is that?
you might have to just start doing it subtly. Like I
Hmm.
said, like
I don't know.
Billy wasn't rocking blue pants and a blue shirt. He had white sneakers, white pants, and a blue t-shirt on.
I feel like Black Ranger, you can get away with it, right? You just be like, I
Yeah.
just wear black, man. That's my thing.
White Ranger too.
Yeah, White Ranger too. That's fine. Bright red, pink every
Here's
day. I don't know.
the Red Ranger wore some like red plaid sometimes, so he would mix it up. He would cheat a little bit. Tommy had some green plaid occasionally too.
I just
So
thought that was
he could wear
that's like
patterns.
and I'll have to look it up because I'm not sure. There might be like some unwritten rule that like Zordon was just into this, where he was like, "Listen, Rangers, if I give you the power of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you actually have to just wear the clothing every day. It's in the contract.
It's the next line
It's
under
like,
teenagers with attitude.
yeah, and a wardrobe. So you go home and you're like, Mom, I'm throwing away everything that's not red. Why?
Yep, that's it.
It's-
I'm in a
okay.
gang now.
Yeah. What? Okay. Should I be worried? They call the therapist. It's like a whole thing. I don't know.
But you mentioned Zordon. I want to give them props. A lot of work went into making this movie not be scatterbrained. Like there's some plot holes because that's always the case, but they were really seamless because you didn't make it that far. But at the end of In Space, Zordon makes a sacrifice. Andros, it turns out Zordon is pure good, which we could all guess. Andros slashes Zordon's container. It radiates a power of good across the entire universe. It destroys all evil. Rita gives us a brief description of this. So that's the primary focus of this movie is after Zordon's wave, Rita's evil also got scattered. So when Billy tried to bring Zordon back because he thought he could bring Zordon back, he also brought in Rita's evil. Rita's evil infiltrates Alpha 8, which is a freaking trope at this point because Alpha getting possessed or hijacked has happened like 3 times.
Mm. Why did they even make this guy?
I mean, he's helpful to have, but he's technology. So like,
yeah.
I mean, you could just haywire, I said. You could just hotwire him and just take him over. But they did a really good job of making, like, they did research. This wasn't just a money grab. This was like actually a passion project with love put in. And I just wanted to say that. Also, they throw in that Tommy and Kat have a child together. JJ, Kat's kid, and then they allude to her and Tommy being together like 3 times, and I was like, I don't remember. I
guess
I wanted it. I shipped it as a kid. They never gave that to us. I don't know.
I guess why not, right? I don't know. Sure,
I mean,
it's okay.
yeah.
Well, who's gonna say no? I mean, no one's around to say no.
But show it on screen is all I'm saying.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do, especially for a lot of people who remember the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and remember watching it and maybe didn't follow along through the entire saga.
Yeah.
You just filling in the gaps, right? You're like, okay, you can, I know who you're talking about here. So that's okay. That's it. So that they just got to kind of brush a broad stroke to get the main audience, is because you're not going to, like you said, for the people who've been watching every iteration, you're not going to be able to tick every single box for like the Uber fan. So
yeah.
It's just the originals is what you really got to focus on, because this is, like you said, it's a passion project, and it's a nostalgia rush, really, which I also believe is strongly influencing the Rotten Tomatoes score of this film, which I'll go over right now. I just want let me get into this. I'm not. Listen, I'm just saying, if you, after I watched this film and you asked me, rate this movie out of 10. I don't know that I would. I wouldn't say it was great. I mean,
100. Okay, my wife asked me. She said, "How was it?" And I said, "You would not have liked it. It was not good, but it was a good Power Rangers movie. Like, you have to score it in a vacuum because this is a Power Rangers movie.
You got to score it like you're 7 to 8 years old and you're watching Power Rangers again."
So as a 32-year-old who has taken film classes, who enjoys breaking down films, no, this was not a piece of art. As a 32-year-old nerd with a decade plus of Power Rangers under his belt, this was a good it was not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Turbo the Power Rangers movie, because those had movie budgets and those, like, they did movie things, but this was like an extended movie, like Forever Red. This was an extended episode movie, which did great.
I guess in that context, when you really think about this thing didn't get a lot of money thrown at it, right? And it's only really going to be on Netflix because of the nostalgia factor. Like Netflix, if somebody came to them and said, I want to do this movie about 5 teenagers who had morphing power. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not Power Rangers. If they had a movie similar to this, they'd be like, no, get out of here. You're disgusting. I wouldn't throw anything at it. It's Power Rangers. It's a nostalgia. It's a quick grab. And I don't, if I now I feel compelled to rate it out of 10. If out of this, I mean, maybe 6.5. I don't know. I mean,
that's fair.
You get the cheesy dialogue right away.
Yes.
Right. It's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers cheesy dialogue, which works in a 20-minute episode.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I thought this movie was going to be longer than it was. It's a 55-minute runtime. This thing's short, right? So if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to go invest that much time into this, but it's only 55 minutes, right? There's episodes of Stranger Things that are longer than this. So this is something you can get done pretty quickly. If you were ever a fan of the Power Rangers, you can check it out, at least for a little bit. It's cheesy dialogue. The acting is, I would say, arguably worse than what I remember.
No.
These are not, listen, these people did not maintain actors as actors like their entire lives. Like, you can tell that they were like doing normal things, and then they were like, sure, I'll dust off the old acting chops and come back, because there were some moments I was like, ugh, a little stiff.
Rocky stuck out for me, like Rocky talking about his noodles and stuff. Rocky
he was
stuck out
trying.
The most for me.
He was trying.
You could feel it.
Yeah, it was palpable.
Yes.
No, it really wasn't that good of an actor movie. I don't know, that didn't make any sense. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't. You have to put that aside, and I think that's what's happening on Rotten Tomatoes right now, because I was shocked to see that the tomato meter score, not even the audience score, out of 100%, it's certified fresh at 87%. From the critics.
What?
From the critics. How is this happening?
I'm so happy. like, because you have to grade it. Like, you have to take
you got to grade it on a curve.
Yes, you do. You really do. Because to me, this, like I said, it doesn't even hold up to their other theatrical films. Like, it doesn't. To me, I would grade this next to their extended episode films, where they were like, all right, we're going to push this episode out to 45-50 minutes. We're going to throw in like 50 Rangers, and it's going to be like a big thing for TV. That's how this felt to me.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. 87% I was shocked to see from the critics. 89% not shocked to see from the audience score. So people who just watched it, they're not Rotten Tomatoes official critics. They went on here and they rated 89%, which is fine. I think that's okay. What you see on IMDb's rating system is probably a more accurate description of what if you're looking for like a cinematic review. It's a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, which
that's fair. That's fair.
It's fair. Honestly, you could rate it anywhere on the spectrum, and I'd be like, yep. I mean, you're right. Like, I understand from wherever you're coming from. I can see it all angles. This is such a unicorn. It's not going to win a freaking Emmy, or an Oscar. I don't know, Emmy. I think Emmy's like TV, but
Golden Globe.
Yeah, anything, it's not going to win an award for just about anything other than maybe like an internet award for nostalgia. Like, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not winning a Razzie, which is good. You don't want that. So
I'm not going to say it's not in the running.
Probably,
it would be disrespectful of them to put it in the running based on how they wrapped it up and what. There was some heavy moments involved where they did pay homage. See, that's a hard word.
Oh my goodness.
Homage. To obviously the people that they lost, which is it was a beautiful way to wrap up that little story.
It was really good.
Honestly, I know that they left the door open a little bit. They added a ranger, and there is a door for something there, and I think that's probably what they want. Obviously you're David Yost, and you're trying to sit here and make something beautiful, but you're also kind of like, can we make this like every year? Like, we just want every year or something? Like, I'd like to keep doing this.
Speaking of adding a new ranger, I'm going back to the movie. So your parent, hypothetically, your parent dies. You know that there's a morpher in the home. You know you want to get revenge. Is the first time that you try to morph in the middle of a fight with 14 putties?
No, I do it outside the building at the very least.
Yes.
I would probably do it the moment I grab it in the house and just see, like, let's see if this thing works. But I definitely wouldn't go get in the middle of a fight and then
start the fight and then
embarrass yourself.
Yes. All right. I'm just saying, felt pretty dumb. And after seeing that, I was like, you know what, Zack has he has a point being upset with her and not wanting her to be in this, because she did not really show a good thought process there.
Right.
So
So I got a couple more things real quick before we get into the draft, which is probably should mention that this is the Movie Propcast, and we will be drafting props and memorabilia from this movie. Some absolute gems that would be amazing to have. Obviously, we'll get into the rules. I think I have a rule that I need to implement when we go into this. And I don't know. I don't want to like hurt you or your list, because I don't really know how much
you already did.
I don't know how much you have on this list, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. Real quick, I don't. And I guess you could call these gripes, because it is what it is. Their reluctancy, and I let off on at first Rita's reluctancy to just keep blasting these people. Right?
Yeah.
You could wrap it up. You got the power to do it. You just watch it happen. It can happen again.
Yeah.
The Power Rangers' reluctancy to use their guns.
Yeah.
They shot 2 shots that were incredibly impactful. Right?
Yeah.
Just keep blasting, bro. Bang, 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 bang. What are you doing? I'd be dual wielding. It'd be crazy. Yeah, you got all these martial arts, but like you could just wrap this show up in 10 minutes flat with these guns that they got.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. There's no rebuttal. It's just like
no, there isn't. And the thing is, like, it's not even on this. My wife and I have been watching an anime recently, and she's getting mad because it's about heroes, and none of the heroes are like killing or doing anything that could just end the situation immediately. And I'm like, at one point after a week of this, I looked at her, I was like, you don't understand what it is to be a hero then, because like that's the point of this. Like, they don't want to kill, they don't want to do all that stuff. Like they're trying to do this to a code, and she's just like, nah. And the thing is, to be honest, if I had powers, if I was the Rangers, I'd be blasting too. I don't know what it's like to. I try to live. I'm like 95% up that moral high ground, but that 5% that I'm lacking is that, like, I'm not going to be Batman. I might kill someone if it's for the greater good.
Right. So my thing is, they have no issue just dusting putties, right?
Yeah.
They're dying, whatever they are. If they even live, I don't even know if they live. What are they is a question I've always wondered. I don't really understand what that is. Yeah. They don't have any issues just disintegrating these fools, right? Why not just use the guns for them, right? Just bang, 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 clear them out. Boom, 2 seconds, that's it. Those guys are gone. Then you can go and get justice with your hands and feet on the bigger bads. Like,
but we already know Rita's a robot, so you don't even have to be gentle with it. Like,
right. Yeah.
Kill her.
Everybody, all 5 at once. Bam, it's over. The movie's over. Guess what? Everybody lives.
And I love that early on, Zack was talking. Oh, I forgot Trini's daughter's name already.
Min?
It might have been, yeah.
I think so. I don't know.
She's having a talk, and they're like, killing isn't the answer. And then immediately 10 minutes later, they're like, God, we got to kill that snake guy. It's like, what happened? Why? This could have been done already then, because she wanted to kill them from the get-go.
Yeah, snake guy was pretty OP. Yes. I got to tell you, he was pretty. He was doing it. What he was doing to them, like right away, he would just grab and instantly became an action figure.
Yes.
They seem pretty chill about that. Like, I know the Power Rangers had seen some things. You know what I mean? Like, they've probably seen a lot. They've been doing it a long time, especially in this timeline.
Yes.
They didn't really seem that upset that they just watched 2 of their friends turn into tiny action figures. They were like, all right, well, here we go. It's a Tuesday.
I feel like I could be wrong. Someone listening correct us. I feel like this isn't the first time the toy action figure thing has happened.
I don't think so either, because I feel like I remember this happening as well.
Yeah, I think this has happened before, but we're not going to say, oh, recycled plot. But I do feel like this happened before. What got me was their reluctance to let Min in the group, when she is the exact same age that they were when they were recruited. They're like, no, this isn't for kids. You were the same age. Yeah. Just because you kept doing this doesn't mean that it's less dangerous or whatever.
I could see how they would feel that way, though, because their mom died doing this. You know what I mean? And they're older, and they're probably like, that's my kid now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're protecting your kid at that point. So I could see that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like, from like Zordon would have been like, yeah, throw her an outfit.
Yeah.
Like, what? It would have been over.
Give her purple.
Yeah, whatever. What color do you want, kid? I don't know. Gray. I'll try it. Whatever. Just pick something. Doesn't matter. Throw a dart at the wall and we'll figure it out. But yeah, no, I don't know. You're right. I think that's something that they obviously weren't thinking about, but in that moment, because you can, if you put yourself in their shoes, sure. But yeah, you're right. From in the grand scheme of things, they honestly should have just got rid of the old guys anyway, right? There should have been a new regime, which Min probably is the next. If they're ever going to make a sequel, she's the one that's going to kick it off and start a new regime of Power Rangers. So, but I don't know. They've already tried to do a feature length Power Rangers movie again recently, and man, did that movie kind of suck.
Listen. I don't think it sucked. I think choices were made that were bad. I don't think the movie overall sucked. I liked the Rangers chosen. I liked some of the action. I hated Goldar. I liked it wasn't Rita in that. Who's the villain in that? It wasn't Rita, was it?
I don't remember. I find it hard to believe that it wasn't. No, it was some green person, I thought. I don't.
Yes, but in that, I liked her. I'm really mad at myself for forgetting this, but her roots as a villain, being a previous Ranger with Bryan Cranston, was awesome. Like, they had good story plots, and it was Elizabeth Banks, if you want to speed that up. It was, but her having roots as a Ranger and then turning on the Rangers to then be a villain, awesome. The tone of the movie was great for its time because they tackled things that kids. That movie, it must be like 8 years old now.
She was Rita, and it was awful.
She was Rita.
She was green Rita.
Rita, yeah. So like their choice of portraying the villains, bad. The story to do that was good. They could have executed some of that stuff better.
I guess what I really didn't like, and I immediately hated all these kids. There wasn't one kid in this group that I was like, cool, Billy. All right, I can get behind. Was he, though? I feel like they were all kind of degenerates. I don't know.
But that's what teenagers are now. Not a majority, and there was like probably one nice one, but you cannot admit, as this is going on a tangent, society
back in my day, kids were nice. Kids were happy to receive powers.
It's being mean is more acceptable now. Not even being mean, because they weren't mean. There's a tougher exterior now, and that's just more common. Like, kids are getting in trouble more now. Kids are like, it's just a thing that's happening. Is like being rebellious means something different than it used to.
Yeah, I don't know, but then you do something like this, right? Where you look at this. I don't know if you can see this right now. It's just that poster for that movie in 2017. If you look at it, the shapes are weird. I don't know what's going on here. It just is a very strange. Like, I can't even make out. Are these animals or are they just?
Pop it up.
I don't know. It's very strange. Here, look at this. What is this movie poster?
It's futuristic because they went with this weird organic futuristic style, and I didn't hate it because they were trying to make it something more modern and more different. Like, they couldn't.
Those are supposed to be dinosaurs. What are they? I don't know. They just look. They all look like torpedoes.
And you're right. Like, the T-Rex definitely does, but I appreciate that they kind of tried to go different. Like, I was actually on board for the costumes. The costumes having that sort of Iron Man vibe with them, I did not dislike. I enjoyed them.
All right. Well, okay. All right. Well,
but like I said, some of for me, some of the things that were wrong with that movie were design choices. I feel like the story was actually done fairly well from what I remember.
Okay. That's fair. I remember watching it, I think on a cruise. I think I was on a cruise and it was on, and we were in the cabin, and I was like, hey, Power Rangers, I'll give it a shot. Didn't remember enjoying that. I didn't remember enjoying that. It just, from all around standpoint, just visually, it didn't appeal to me. It was very dark and brooding, but
yes,
that's not my Power Rangers. Look at my shirt. I want color, man.
That's the 2010s Power Rangers. This is Power Rangers after the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises and stuff like that. Like, or Dark Knight.
I'm not tuning into a Power Rangers movie to watch dark Batman style stuff. I'm not saying it's got to be campy and cheesy, but man, give me some colors, bro. I want to see some colors.
We got colors.
We got more color from Rita than we got any of the Power Rangers. That's an issue for me. Rita shouldn't have popped
we're gonna
more on
sit down.
screen.
We're gonna have a watch along. We're gonna have to sit down and have a watch along.
That's gonna be an interesting time. All right, so I'm ready to get into this draft. We can get in here and I don't know. Give me 1 second. Let me compose myself as I reach over here and hit the button. Just pause for button pushing. All right, you ready?
Yeah. I thought you missed.
Yeah, I did. I just whiffed. All right, here we go.
I really thought you whiffed. All right.
Well, here's the deal. I actually didn't have it ready to hit the right button, so that's on me before we started.
Wait, turn your hat for a second. I just realized. No, the other way is the NBC logo. We're not sponsored. Is that in Power Rangers colors? No, there's an orange in that.
There's an orange, which, by the way, I think they probably did an Orange Ranger at some point, but yeah, there should have been. It's yellow, orange, red, blue, purple, green. Yeah.
It's rainbow.
Pretty close though. That's I was paying my respects to all the Rangers here with this hat. Okay, so let's get into the draft. I'm first. Yes. Oh, I'm first pick. I didn't even think about what I was going to do first pick. So going into this, I don't know how you feel about this, and I'm just going to float the idea out there because I didn't want every one of our picks to be one thing. You're already a little upset. I can see it on your face. But I was going to issue only one Power Ranger suit.
Oh, that's fine. I only had one written down.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine then. All
right.
Yeah,
we're good. We're good.
Well, then what were you so uptight about? I just didn't want us to go Blue Ranger, Black Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Green Ranger. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go down the list and then all of a sudden that's it. We just have a bunch of outfits.
See, when it comes to you, I always assume the worst and then I'm pleasantly surprised.
That's good. That's good. I got you right where I want you then. Right in the safe mindset of I can still probably get away with just about anything. All right. So first up, I'm going to check my list here because, again, I wasn't completely prepared for this. But I knowing that you're only going to be able to pick one Power Rangers costume.
Yeah.
I don't know if I lead off with that. Like, now I'm just thinking draft tactics at this point. Do I lead off because I'm cool with just about any of these because they all hit. Granted, obviously everybody's got their favorite Ranger, but I don't know that you're gonna go with mine. I don't know. That's
true. I mean, this is you. You might just be overthinking the draft in general. Like, you might just end up playing yourself.
I probably am. I'm gonna play myself for sure.
You're like, I'll draft Billy's car.
Yeah, hey, chill, man. That thing could fly, all right? Somehow. We didn't even talk about that. I don't know how they did that or explain that. Was there a history of this vehicle, or was this the first time on screen we saw that car?
There was a bug in the originals occasionally shown. I don't know. I guess this is because Billy always tinkered with stuff. I don't remember Billy turning into Iron Man. That happened off screen because he has a full freaking business now. But that car... If it's the same car, they just made it more updated.
Right. Yeah.
But there was a bug in the original series.
Okay. I think to lead this off.
Yeah.
Dang, this is tough. Okay, see now I'm already in my own head. The first pick overall. Honestly, I wasn't prepared to make this first pick. I think to lead it off.
Yeah.
I want. Dang, dude. I think I'm going to take... This is going to sound so stupid when I say this because I really did like it and I think it looked really cool, but I don't... There's only one of these, so I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to take this Snizzard costume. Off rip.
Snizzard?
I want the Snizzard lizard guy costume, all right? When I first saw him compared to the other guy, the Minotaur, don't care about that guy, bro. He was definitely second in command. Snizzard was the only one putting in, like, real work, all right? Yes. And he was the only one I was really scared of, outside of obviously Rita just blasting someone to smithereens, which was pretty disturbing to see on screen. I'm going to take Snizzard right off rip and just see where you go. All right. I don't know that was the best first pick.
Doyle, you already know we've already discussed how I feel about Power Rangers. I'm going to let you pick my first pick for me.
No, I'm not going to do it.
No, because you already know what it is.
Do I though? Is it the Red Ranger? I don't know. You pick. It's Blue Ranger. It's got to be a Ranger's costume, right? I don't know.
I'm taking the Green Ranger's costume, man.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
What do you mean? Oh, okay. That is the only correct choice. Red Ranger's red. Blue Ranger's blue. Green Ranger is green with the shoulder pads with the freaking. I think he had the Dragon Dagger in this.
Okay, that's fair.
It's just the number one pick, and he died, and he's gone.
Yep. Okay.
Like there's at first I was like, damn, it sucks because the suit doesn't have that much significance to the movie. But then them wrapping it up with Jason David Frank, and I'm upset I keep forgetting Trini's name. But
Yeah,
Trini like that,
yeah.
that just upped the importance of the suit in the movie. And I was like, all right, that ties it in. Because the Blue Ranger, if we're going significant to the movie, Blue or Black Ranger, or actually Yellow Ranger would be the suits to go. But every person growing up wanted red or green, and I'm not passing up green. Like I'm taking green, especially with the passing of JDF.
Yeah. Okay, so I hear what you're saying there, right? And I honestly, the reason I didn't pick that,
Yes.
or just pick a Ranger period, is because I was wondering where you were going to go. I kind of figured you'd go this way, but I wasn't going to say it. The amount of screen time it got in this film, right?
Yes.
And when it was on screen, to me, very clearly was not of the same caliber of the OG back in the day one. That is it's foam, man. It was very clearly foam, and I was like, I don't love that. I don't know why. To me, it just didn't look as cool as I remember it.
I agree. They've made changes to it they've revamped it like
they budgeted it in this one.
They've revamped it like 6 times. Like there's like if you look it up, there's like Green Ranger V1, V2. They've done a lot of revamping. It's still the Green Ranger to me. I completely get what you're saying. It was not on screen a lot, and when it was on screen, it wasn't amazing, but I'm still right.
But it means a lot to you, and that's okay. Yeah. I'm okay with losing it because it's if you had the first pick and you picked the first overall, completely understandable. And the fact that you're picking it now, I get it. Me picking Snizzard over it, pretty disrespectful now in retrospect. But
yes,
that's not the point. I'm still gonna get a Ranger's costume. Obviously, I'm locked in. I'm getting one for sure. I think we're only going 3, right? We're gonna go 3 picks down the line, or I'm cool with that. Unless you want to go to 4. If we could go to 4,
I could go to 4. Let's go 4.
Okay, we'll go 4. That's fine. I'm down. I mean, I picked Snizzard 1 overall. You know, I got a bag.
You got some, yeah. I was gonna say you got some in the tank now.
All right, so that's good. I'll write down your Green Ranger costume. This is something, like you said, we've always wanted as a kid. This is something that would be amazing. I honestly give me the helmet. I want a full size helmet. Screen used would be absolutely incredible. That would be something unbelievable. Especially if it was from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, like the original one, because that one, and we didn't do that here. Obviously, we're talking about Once and Always, the one that just came out on Netflix. We could just as well go back and do that, but now it would be double dipping. But that movie was amazing. I loved every second of that, and to own something from that, which those pieces are out there, would have been just as incredible. Okay, so my second pick to follow up Snizzard. What's up?
We'll talk about this after. I'm gonna put a pin in it. Keep going.
Okay. What did I say? Something?
No, because if we aren't doing that movie, I'm just curious what your number 1 overall pick would be from the first Power Rangers movie, because I have a feeling I know what mine would be. And oddly enough, mine isn't. Well, that's the Ivan Ooze. That's when they made the suits look like they were SWAT uniforms.
So
they were like made out of metal and stuff.
They were awesome. Yeah. No, you know what? We might have to go back. I'm not going to say we're not going to do it. I'm not going to say we're not going to do it. Down the line, we probably will tap back into it. So we'll figure that out later. But my second overall pick.
Yeah.
And I probably should have done this first. But I kind of felt like you were going to get your guy. You're going to get your Ranger right away. So I did. It didn't matter what order I really did this in. I'm taking Rita's costume. Now, here's the deal, though. I want her bust, like her face, the robo face. I'd prefer it to be the one where it's kind of cracked, right? The broken Rita face in the movie. I don't know that I wouldn't give myself the staff. I feel like the staff is a separate beast.
Okay.
I know you can say I want her whole outfit or her whole wardrobe, but to me, I wrote down separate. Rita's outfit and then Rita's staff, because I feel like those are two different things. I don't want to be greedy, and I don't want you to don't even tell me I can have it, because I feel like it is a separate thing. So I'm gonna take Rita's face and her whole outfit in general. She's got big shoulder pads for whatever reason, cone boobs. I don't know why they did that.
Always,
I don't know why they always did that. Yes. Yeah, very strange costume design
to show she was a woman.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, with very coney boobs. I don't understand it, but whatever. I'm happy to have it, so that's what I'm gonna take second overall.
All right. Good pick. I appreciate it. Thank you for being very I know I'm normally very chivalrous, and I'm like, you know what? Take the whole thing. Today was not going to be that day because my number 2 pick was Rita's staff.
That's what I kind of figured.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking significance to the movie. That staff killed a ranger. That staff almost killed 2 rangers. I want Rita's staff up there on a wall. Like, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, Min just takes that blast. That second one, she just takes to the chest. Obviously, yeah, I know there's an explanation, but still.
Yeah. They didn't do right away. Like, you had to actually peer to see that there was like a burn hole where the morpher was. They should have done like a better job like zooming in on that to show you that the morpher took the hit for her.
Right.
But yeah, she ate that immediately.
That's fair. Okay, so snizzard off the board, easy peasy. Okay, so third pick. If you're telling me we're going to 4, now I can just sandbag and not take my ranger until the last, bro. So
yeah,
now
go for it.
I'm trying to gobble up as much value as I can in this point. This is also the toss-up now because I already have Rita's costume, so I don't know if I want to keep dipping into that bag. Because there is one more thing that I could dip into from her side of the story, and I don't think I'm going to do it here. So
okay.
So I guess in me, knowing what my last pick is going to be, you can kind of do whatever you want to. So there's a little gamesmanship here in this draft. I think I have no choice. Oh no! See, now there's another one. Okay, this is very frustrating.
It is. There's actually a decent amount of props in this because I was like 2 more, I'm set, and then I was like,
no, but I don't. Now I'm not pushing in another 5. I'm not going.
No,
to 5
no.
Because
we're not going.
There's got to be some cutoffs.
5.
Yeah.
We're not going to 5, but there's like 3 solid things that I want, and I'm a little upset right now. So it's gonna be good. The movie did a good job of having props, so that's a good sign.
It's, do I want something impactful on the film, or do I want something selfishly? And that's really, they're both really cool. I think I have to take the one that's impactful on the film, and I think I'm going to take Trini's morpher in the box. I have to do it.
Yeah. That's a good pick.
And I'm wondering if you're going to go the route that I was going to go, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until it's over. But I'm taking Trini's yellow morpher with the little commemorative box.
You take the box, take everything. That's a very good pick. It was on screen. It saved Min's life. The minute I saw that, I was like, I want that. But the only issue with me is I didn't really want the saber-toothed tiger coin in it. So I see.
You want a morpher, but you don't want that. I see what you're saying.
I don't want that morpher.
Okay. All right.
So that being with my third pick, I'm gonna take Zack's power axe.
Ooh,
the gun.
Yo, that's sick though. That's always to me. That's always been my favorite, especially in the old games.
Yes, I even like that little swerve I got there. Yeah. So I'm taking Zack's power axe, especially since I believe that got the last shot on Rita. Did it not? I think so.
Probably. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember specifically.
I feel like that. I thought that's how they ended it with Zack taking the final shot with the power axe. And I always loved that everyone had their things, but Zack had the axe that still turned into a gun for some reason.
Yeah, he's like the double whammy.
Yeah, he still had 2 guns.
Why not give everybody something? Like somebody should be a screwdriver with a gun, or you know what I mean? Like some tools on there, like hammer and a gun. Yeah, that's a good pick. Okay, no, that's good. I am curious where you're going to go with the last one, but I know I now have to pick a Ranger's suit.
You don't have to.
Oh, I'm going. I mean, imagine drafting props from a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie and not walking away with a Power Ranger costume. It'd be the most foolish thing ever done in the history of this podcast, or just any draft in general. This is when it gets different, though. Tyrannosaurus Rex, to me, has always been the dinosaur, right? That's the one, right?
Yeah.
And Red Ranger's always been the leader. Not in this movie, though.
No.
Not in this movie.
So, I don't blame you. Well, go with your pick, and I'll tell you why I don't blame you.
Okay. Well, this is also interesting because you did mention, right, that when you picked the Green Ranger, he had his little sword axe. Well, not axe, but I mean, yeah, it was So did that come with that, or I don't know
Well,
how
the
we're
only
doing
reason
that?
I say that is because unlike the other ones, he wears it on his belt strap.
Okay, that's fair.
So
Well, yeah.
it's kind of yeah. So that's why like where the Red Ranger has to like summon his red sword, bit Zack. That's why I took Zack's power axe
Yeah.
separate. Like they have to summon those. The Green Ranger just wears
He's just
his.
strapped. He's just
He's just
got it.
strapped.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
got you. I got you.
But I'd be willing
No, no,
to.
no, no, no. I'm not. The thing is, it's obviously I'm between the black and the blue, right?
Yeah.
To me personally, I've always liked the Black Ranger better.
So both of them have interesting design things because the black mask, I
Yeah.
love the tusks
I love
of
that.
the
It's
yes,
awesome. The
of the
mammoth.
mastodon. Yeah.
Mastodon, yeah.
I love the tusks. Blue, for some reason, as I got older, that shade of blue just looked better with time.
It
Like
does
I
look
like the
cool, and
color. Yeah.
and he's got like the visor
Yeah.
looks like some Ray-Bans. Like it just got that cool like sunglass look for
Yeah.
some reason. So I'm trying to think of a helmet on a, you know what I mean, on a ideally you'd like more color, but I think I'm going to take the Black Ranger costume. I think I was always a big fan of Black Ranger. I think Mastodon, you know, that's just it's just a power animal, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. So I think I'm going to go with that for my final pick. I think I'm cool with that.
Okay. I like that.
All right.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
You know what's weird is like
I don't
David Yost went through this whole thing, right? He's like, Blue Ranger, I'm the star of this film, and I'm still like, nah, bro. No. I don't want you. We both had equal chance to get your costume. We don't want it. We're not that guy.
I like his costume. It's just it's the Green Ranger, man. And I don't if somehow this ever makes it to David Yost's ears, which I don't think it will.
It absolutely will. Yeah.
I always respected what he did in Power Rangers because he could have stayed that nerdy Billy, but just like as a side thing, he went and you could tell like between seasons 2 and 3, he like comes back. He was working out a little bit. He was in good shape, and then he stayed on as sort of like he helped Alpha for a little bit. Like he did a lot of things to make Billy not stay that like tertiary unnecessary character. Like he made Billy necessary and important. So I don't want like David to think like he's a ranger I don't care about.
No, for sure. He's our guy. He's our guy,
yes,
right? We obviously
yes.
appreciate him for this film and all his contributions to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers lore. For sure.
But yeah, for some reason in like the early 2000s, he was jacked for a little bit. I was impressed.
Dude, if I was a Power Ranger, I'd be in the gym every day. I'd be in there just knocking heads off. I don't even know, whatever those things are, those dummy dolls. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. I'd be kicking and punching all day long until I was ripped, for sure. You got that persona. I wonder what his daily wardrobe looks like. Like if I
Billy
was
or David Yost.
David Yost. Is he wearing blue all the time? He probably skews a little blue, right? Come on.
Actually, yeah.
He probably skews a little blue.
Or if he's got a choice, he has no blue at all.
He's like he hates it. He just despises blue.
Yes.
I mean, that'd be pretty ironic. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
All right, your last pick right now, and then we can get to wrapping it up with what we left over.
Final pick. This is gonna be interesting. I want to go with something that has significance to the movie, but I don't know if I'm being selfish with the idea I had. So I've got 3 ideas I'm waffling between. One of them, I'm going to ask you a question.
I think I know where you're going with this too.
So when you're looking and they have a wide shot of the power generator, there's a lot of toys on it.
Yeah, I know.
Now, are those toys one toy or is it a display?
So what you're saying is Rita's machine, right? You're talking about her machine.
Yes.
That was a good question. And I personally wrote them down separate. I wrote the machine down as its own being, and then I wrote the tiny action figures down as its own thing.
But is it all of the action figures? Or is it just like one? Do I have to pick one of the action figures?
That's tough. Okay, so I guess the bigger question is, are you asking me if you can have the machine and all of the action figures?
No, honestly, I don't care about the machine at all.
Oh, then yeah, take all the action figures. You can have all the action figures. I just didn't want. So I was gonna draft the machine. Like that was what I was gonna go through. It was honestly it was the machine was on my list. I was going for that. But I also feel like I really wanted a morpher, so I went that route. So. Yeah, I mean, I would be willing to give you all the tiny little action figures, right? I think that's made all from the same thing. The same person probably made that the same group. So I think I'd be willing to give you all those.
Cool.
The weird little snake figures.
Yes, the snake figures are cool. But now that we've had that conversation, I've realized just having the T-Rex morpher would just be so much better to me. Like,
that's fair.
I just having the full morpher, for some reason, the T-Rex power coin was just so cool. I don't know why the T-Rex was just from the beginning was just badass.
A T-Rex is always badass. There's no scenario in which a Tyrannosaurus Rex isn't the most badass thing that has ever walked the planet.
Yes. So I want the T-Rex morpher. And because that actually got screen time. Rocky used it a couple of times.
Yeah, they used it on screen for sure.
Yeah, and it was on his belt, so.
For sure. I agree with that. That's good. I was worried you were going to actually walk out without a morpher, which is kind of crazy because, I mean, obviously these ones, they're big. They're legit.
They're big, yes.
They're very big. Like, where are they storing these things? Like,
yes.
I don't know. You got to have a fanny pack separate of your body. To
they always just pull them from the back. Like,
where are they putting that?
Yes.
It's just on their spine. I don't know where they're ripping those from, but yeah, it's very interesting. I also love that in every shot, and this is something that you'd notice back in the day, and again, we're going to get into this, we're going into leftovers and we'll get out of here, but because we've been, again, I said this, I thought this was going to be a short one because it was a short movie, 55 minutes. Here we are, we're about to cross an hour.
This is longer than the movie.
Yes, we've passed the feature length of this film. At this point, you probably could have just watched the film and been done with it. But what was I even saying? Their helmet scenes. Every time that they're taking helmets off, you never, ever, ever, ever see them actually take the helmet off.
They're
if you
just
watch
like it's already
cut,
over.
It's
above
right
the head.
here, and they're like, and scene. And it's hovering over their head, and then they lift because it's like it all has to snap. It's like you know what I mean? Like it's all this. It's a couple pieces. You can never just go flunk and it's off.
So I didn't pay attention in this movie because the OG helmets, like I specifically remember when Tommy got the White Ranger powers, he unclips the two clips and unfolds it and then takes
I've
it
never
off.
seen it. I've never seen him do that. Okay.
Oh, it was like one of the only times they ever did it. So
and then they were like, that cost us $500, $5,000 or something. Yeah, something stupid.
Look up Tommy gets White Ranger powers. You'll see. Yeah. So he unclips it and then he like takes it off. That's the first time you ever see them touch the clips because I feel like doing that makes it less magical. Like knowing that they could just unclip it with safety clips.
Right.
It doesn't. So I don't remember if the helmets had the clips in this movie.
They just, I don't know. You don't see them. It's just, you see them with it on or you see them with it off. But the closest you get is them holding it over their head and just pulling it up as if they had just pulled it off their head, which is not how that process looks behind the scenes. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get down to the leftovers of the draft because we did leave some bangers off. Obviously, every other Power Ranger suit that we didn't draft outside of black and green, that's off the list. The Minotaur costume I mentioned, definitely not as cool as the Snizzard. And Snizzard number one overall. That's the ultimate respect to Snizzard.
That was a dark horse pick. Everyone's like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, no, I don't know why. I love those cheesy. Like to me, that was one of my favorite things about the Power Rangers was not just watching the Power Rangers every week, but like seeing what stupid costume we were gonna see for the bad guys. The bad guys always were so weird. Yeah, I mean, you could go back and just watch every other episode and be like, "Who designed this? Who designed this weird?" Pig with a I don't know why that's always the one that pops in my head. The giant pink pig with a mohawk. I think I don't know what was going on with that guy, but their rogues gallery was off the charts. If Goldar was in this film, that's a one. That's a number one overall, bro. No questions.
You are a Goldar guy. Like no one knows, but yeah, you're a Goldar guy.
Goldar's awesome, dude. Anything off of your list? You mentioned the figurines already, but yeah.
So yeah, all the figures would have been awesome. The communicator watches I have down because those are just classic. Those were also bigger in this movie. They were not that big before. So they made
technology's big, man. Technology's big now. There was a time in the 2000s, early to mid 2000s, where it was like we needed everything super tiny, and then they were like, no, we want to flaunt our technology, so we're big again. So that's where we're at.
That I for some reason wrote down Alpha 9.
I also wrote down Alpha 9. I was like, that costume, obviously, like you said, there's a human being in it, probably all sweaty and musty on the inside, but it does look cool. Alpha looks cool with the lights going across his face. Like that's pretty sweet looking.
The putty outfit, just the putties in general. Like
Oh.
I don't like it, but they're a classic, and they were literally all over this movie.
Didn't even write it down. I was
I
like,
didn't either.
get
I
away,
didn't
putty. You
either.
disgust me.
I just
I wrote down
thought it,
Billy's little scanner, his little magical scanner that could just do whatever you wanted whenever you needed it to.
yeah.
I don't understand the technology, but yeah, he had it and he was doing stuff with it.
And Billy's car.
And his car. That was the last thing on my list, was his car that could freaking fly, and nobody
Everything.
really batted an eye. They're just like, oh, it's Billy with his freaking car again. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's weird. It was a weird thing to do, but cool looking car. It looked pretty cool. Outside of that, I think that's it, man. I think we're done. We pretty much wrapped this movie up.
They didn't do the thing in this movie where the Zords were action figures for that was all CGI, right? Like back in the day when the Zords were doing the turn into the Megazord,
this was CGI for sure.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah, that was it did look a little too crispy, too smooth for it to be the rigid action figures, which I actually have. I had in the background. If you see, if you're watching the video over my shoulder right now, but you can see it like right over here. Again, if you watch this video on our YouTube channel, check out the Movie Propcast on our YouTube. On youtube.com. I was about to take ownership of YouTube. But on youtube.com. myyoutube.com. Yeah, no, check it out. The Movie Propcast. Hit us with a sub while you're there. You'll get all our content right when it flops on the old interwebs. And at Movie Propcast on our social media, you can catch out some cool clips on TikTok, on Instagram, and Twitter. We occasionally tweet out the links to new episodes as it happens as well. So I guess that's it. We can get out of here now. We've reminisced into the 90s, and I can finally take this hat off. There's something really cool about putting your hat on backwards and then throwing your bangs out that little opening. I'm kind of digging this.
I'm sorry, I've never had that luxury.
You never had the bangs? Yeah, you got to get the bangs, dude. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
There's got to be some like ointment or something. That you can, I don't know.
All right.
Hit the
butt. Hit
some
the butt.
Salve. All right, I'm going to get out of here. See you guys later. Bye.